What's up, guys? This is my explanation for Endless Soup Part 2, and yeah, I know it's been a while, but it's been like over a year, so don't expect me to get everything, but yeah, apparently this is also not the final version either, so I don't know what happened to it, but in any case, the final version is on my Switch, but this is OCW, so yeah, let's take a look at this. So, first room here, in order to prevent this guy from spawning, I have to overload the screen with the power-up sprite. So, I couldn't quite fit everything in here. In fact, putting 100 sprites in one screen will basically make it impossible to put any more power-ups throughout the entire level. So to compensate for that, we have a few down here. They're just some P-balloons, but you just broken track spawn these guys with yeah, like that right here. And then that spawns the remaining sprites to overload everything. So basically what happens is that when you come over here, the P-balloon will come out. And why is that? That's because this swamp over here is destroying one of the power-ups to allow the P-balloon to spawn. So yeah, that's pretty much that part. Oh, you know what? This was actually not this used to be a launcher in a clown car for some reason. I forget why I changed it that way, but that was in the final version. It was in a clown car, not just straight up like this. But there's a reason for that. I can't remember what it was. In any case, yeah, so the mole setup here. Basically, it's just this this seesaw setup, and then the moles come up, and weirdly enough, when stacks are in the air, and you kill an enemy on a stack, they just kind of freeze for a second. So you see how the stack is kind of freezing, and that means like, yeah, for some reason it just freezes. There's no real explanation for that. It's just kind of Mario Maker physics, but yeah, that's how that works. And it was kind of funny, so I decided to put it at the beginning, and it paid off really well. A lot of people liked it, so yeah. That's about it for this room. If you have a hidden block detector here to activate the seesaw, and then that just, yeah. So basically, there are two different trolls here. One is if you try to hit this hidden block, so basically, I'm trying to make people think, oh, there could be a hidden block under here. Why don't I just hit that instead of going over there in that suspicious area? And you hit it, and oh, it just doesn't quite reach, and all those moles come up and greet you with a happy little greeting. So the other side of this troll is then when you hit that block. And then they all come up. So it's kind of an interesting little multi-purpose troll for two different hidden blocks. It's kind of neat. Yeah, that's about it for this room. Let's head on in here. So what's going on here is just, you know, blocks breaking. What the hell is this? Okay, that was an OCW thing. Apparently I've never opened a water level before. So yeah, it's just breaking blocks, and the launcher will spawn the next time you come in the room. And then basically, so this troll here, if you didn't run into this, what happens is that if you go too fast, there will be a troll that happens. And it's supposed to boop you down. It didn't work right there. It's kind of a little janky, but this launcher, or this cannon, will come through the wall and block you, and then you bounce on it and go back in the pipe. So like if you're trying to speed through the section, that's generally what will happen. And then the launcher in the previous room will block you, and then this one will block you, so you die because you can't go anywhere. So the setup for that is kind of complicated, and honestly, since it's been like over a year, I can't even really remember how this works, but basically, so I'm pretty sure that this fire bar, number 1 will melt this coin, and then number 2 will push this guy into these blocks. That's step number 1. And step 2 is this guy up here, which will trigger the switch if you are fast enough. So the timer for this, the timer for the entire troll is this guy. So yeah, if you take too long, it'll push this guy out of the way and like off screen him, that kind of thing. So, but if you are fast enough, then he'll hit this block and change the switch. And then what happens is that this bomb will blow up. God damn. What am I even looking at? Let's see if I can decipher. Okay, so when this bomb blows up, this guy will flip over and then hit this spring. And what happens is that when you hit both of these note blocks at the same time, or close to the same time, this thing will then shoot through the wall. So let me see if I can... Well, actually... Yeah, see, you can kind of see it right there. I think I'm... There it is, there it is. So yeah, you can see it right there. So yeah, basically this guy is hitting these blocks, and when this cannon is inside of these blocks and they're a hit, then the cannon will just go shooting through the wall for whatever reason. So that's fun. Yeah, that's about it there. This... I mean, so there's a lot of note blocks and stuff here. The reason this is here is just so you don't have, like, inconsistencies with the wall like this. Just because it's kind of, like, I don't know, not pretty, right? It can be like this, too, you know? But... And it still works just fine. And then what's in here is just a... Oh, spike ball. See, okay, even I'm learning things. Yeah, so... Oh, interesting. I don't even remember how this works at all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this shell takes care of this block, and then immediately after, this spike will take care of this block. So it's kind of being pushed in one tile at a time, but really fast. So, yeah. I mean, I know that a lot of the troll creators who are watching this know exactly how this works. So, yeah. But for those of you who don't, hopefully that helps. Help you to understand a little more. So then, basically what happens is that if you do trigger this and survive, then this troll right here will change. And, oh, yeah, this is totally different than it was. There used to be like, this is an older version, so this is definitely going to be a little different. But I think I set it up like this. Pretty sure like this, yeah. So, yeah, basically, this guy will... Okay, yeah, right. So, if you don't trigger this speed trap, this P-switch will stay here and the mole will just fall down and do absolutely nothing, right? But if you do trigger it, then the P-switch will now be down here, and then the mole, all the mole has to do is just walk onto it once you get close enough. So it's just a little positional detector for the twice troll. And unfortunately, the fact that this troll happens so fast was kind of unfortunate, because this troll is really good as a twice, but nobody really fell for it except for, I think, Carl, because this just was way too fast, and like it's easy to just take a little bit of time. You don't have to like rush at full speed. So yeah, kind of a bummer that this didn't really work out, but it's still kind of fun. And then the troll here was that you put on the shell, so like you're thinking, yeah, so like if you were to hit this right here, basically the player is supposed to know that you can't put on a shell mitt when you have a P-balloon, but not a lot of people knew that, so they just did this anyways and ended up avoiding the troll. So yeah, this just was a total failure in many ways. So yeah, you get the shell mitt, come down here, and then this is kind of a fun little setup. It's literally just a grounding setup for the P-switch. So yeah, what happens here, there's a spring in here, and when the P-switch hits the spring, for some reason, it's like when the spring is compressed, when it's in the compressed state, it will, and then it despawns, with this setup, then the P-switch will follow it and just be attached to it. But when that happens, it retains all of its momentum. So why isn't there a Shelmet option? What the hell? Oh my god. Do you have to unlock it? That'd be crazy. No, no way, right? Why doesn't it give me the option? Usually you can, like, put it on, right? Okay, well, anyways. So, yeah. So, the spring, the purpose of the spring is to give it its initial leftward momentum, and right now it still has leftward momentum because it's grounded. It's in a grounded state. And then it just ends up flying that way. Unfortunately, this troll really wasn't all that successful either because there wasn't a whole lot, there wasn't many, like, different things it could do, right? So, Carl, when he played, thought it was going to go into this cubby or something, and that worked out pretty nicely, but most people were like, okay, well, there's nothing really that can happen. The only way it can screw me is if it goes down here, and they figured it out pretty well. So I could have done a little bit better here with laying this out, but it worked out pretty nicely. And then for this one, obviously, the troll here is you can't. Well, you guys saw it in the level. I don't really need to explain it too much. But oh god. All right. Yeah. So you can't. No matter what you do, you cannot hit this ever. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is. So for here, yeah. So basically, this is a broken track block, or this is like a glitched block, right? And for some reason, when you place it here, it will count as both blocks. It will think, the game thinks that there's two blocks right here, so it will stop scrolling. And what I wanted people to think was that, okay, well, this must be the edge of the level, so there's nothing I can do here. And it's kind of cool because when you go in, it's like it tells you to go back into the 50, and then this guy comes and breaks the wall. It's like, oh, surprise, this wasn't the edge of the level. And a weird glitch happened. So, yeah, it's kind of a neat little troll. And then, obviously, just the trigger thing. Why doesn't this spawn? That's so strange. Why do I have it set up like this? Does this really work? Oh god. Well, alright. Yeah, so this is the trigger. I don't know why it's like this. Apparently it works. And yeah. Alright, so this room is very silly. There's nothing really here other than just psychology, really. So it's like, you can go in this alluring maze, or you can just go get the checkpoint like a not idiot. But what ends up happening is a piranha comes out, because really all it is just a thwomp destroying a bomb to free up an entity for the piranha to spawn. That's literally it. And then the purpose of this block right here is to actually prevent the initial spawn of the piranha. That little block that goes flying off screen right there. So yeah, you can see that the piranha doesn't come out immediately right now, but if I were to move this, then it comes out immediately. So that's the point of that. Oop. And I'm scared to undo. I don't know if I have much broken track stuff. Oh yeah, I do, definitely. Right here. Yep. So right here, all it is just an entity thing. So all of these fish will luckily stay on the screen, which is really nice. So all you need to do is spawn in a ton of fish to overload the entities. And yeah, it's pretty cool. They'll just stay on the screen because they always follow you. And you won't ever have to worry about the player taking 100 hours to figure out what they want to do. Yeah, there's nothing to this maze. It's just a matter of getting the POW and using it on the piranha. For some reason, a lot of people didn't understand they were supposed to use it on the piranha. They were just like dying here 10 different times before they finally figured that out. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, and then as for the rest of the entities, because you'll notice that this isn't like nearly enough entities to overload. So we just have a bunch of one-ways to to account for the rest of the entities there. So I think that's the only place for them, yeah. Oh my god, there's still so much to explain. Whew. Alright. I think we got all that done, and we're going in here. Alright, so big clown cars are a thing. It's really strange, but there's a process to enlarging them like this, and I won't go through that now, but basically what we have here is also another little glitch guy here, and he is in a pipe. So yeah, he just kind of comes out, and the reason that this clown car gets as big as it does is because this guy comes out of nowhere and drops into the clown car. So you'll never see it spawning because it's behind the clown car, but it's kind of neat either way. And then over here, more of the same stuff. You can actually put these giant things in these in these launchers, and they'll have the same exact state. So it's kind of funny. And then this troll is obviously the clown car goes through the ground, and you get up here and into the spiky. And then this is all aesthetics. Yeah, pretty simple stuff here. Alright, this is a fun little troll. So let me see here. Where am I? I need to switch the states. Here we go. So ideally, the player is supposed to be holding run here out of the door, and a lot of people didn't, which is kind of disappointing. But if you do, and you try to throw it, well, you can't throw it when you're ducking, apparently. So it just kind of drops, and you get trolled. It's very funny, actually. But what a lot of people ended up doing was just bouncing around first, and like, you know, what I should have maybe done differently here is put a wall like right here, and just really confined them to this one tile gap so that they were forced to either throw it both directions. So that's something I could have done differently, but I didn't. But, you know, whatever. And yeah, a couple people fell for it. It was kind of funny. This troll here is just quite simply a broken track twister. That's all it is. So once you go a certain distance this way, it'll just spawn, and yeah. So it'll push up the muncher this way as well. I don't know. This troll just feels very uninspiring to me. Like, even to me as the creator, I feel like this troll is just super bland, and I should have spent a little more time on whatever this was. But here we are. In fact, a lot of this level was just totally rushed because I just really I think this time last year I was about to start a new job or something, and I really had to like get this done. I really wanted to get this done before I started. So yeah, in fact, that's exactly what it was. This troll is really dumb. If you hit one of these springs, you can't get out of this. Like, no matter what you do, it is impossible to get out of this. You can try to like counteract it, but it's just impossible. And the whole like reason is because of this gap. So I'm pretty sure if this were here, then you can get out of this just fine, right? See? So yeah, for whatever reason, this gap just really carries you far. Carries you places. Kind of funny. Silly little troll. Oh yeah, that fish too. I guess I should explain that fish, because the only way that fish spawns is if you hit this left spring, and no matter how close you get, it will never spawn until you hit it. Yep, see that? So that's kind of a neat little setup. But it's literally just this. So yeah, that guy pushes the thwomp to position him so that he will only hit it exactly as you hit that spring. So it's kind of cool. And then this is just a very slow falling fish. So yeah. So in here we have really dumb rushed trolls. And this one is kind of funny I guess. I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. You just kind of like try to hit the block, and then you end up in this stupid little hole here. And it's a very funny little trap. So I enjoyed that one a lot. Yeah. I always wondered this, like, can you do this? Yeah. Yeah, and you can still, probably should have done something like that instead, but, yeah. So the second part of this room is obviously the funny launcher. This is also, like, really rushed, kind of. I mean, I was trying to find something funny to do with a launcher, and I was thinking, like, well, everybody's already done the whole up and down, so what if they do both of them? And that's what I came up with. So, like, it starts to go up, and then it goes down really quickly, and then it back up. So, we just have this setup here. It's kind of fun. First, these fire flowers way down. Well, actually, so we need to come into this on the other state, but we'll switch this. Yeah, so the fire flowers way down the launcher initially. We'll go ahead and get like a power here. And not scroll screen. Okay, so yeah. So if you don't do anything and you let it carry you down, it just kills you. It brings you just enough off screen. And okay, so no, we need another on-off. Bam, there we go. Stop scrolling. Oh my god. Really? You're really gonna be like this? I think I need to be right here. Why are you scrolling up? Oh my god. Can't even see it. Ugh. Okay, just gonna do this. God damn it. And my controller has drift too, that is not helping. Okay, so there it is. So basically this swamp hits, well, first this swamp hits this, which causes it to go down, and then this side will go up and then carry this swamp into the spring, and then this swamp will hit this other side. I mean, you can kind of see how it works, so I'm not gonna like, I'm not gonna spend too much. I already spent way too much time on that, to be honest. But yeah, this is just a sprite saver. So yeah, just a funny little sprite saver. Kind of cool. I think Marvel showed me that one while I was making it or something. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So Shell Ride. I like this section. This is a fun section. Yeah, so that happens. Don't really need to explain that, but basically the shell just kind of hits it from underneath while you're riding it, and then you end up on top of the block and die to the Mecha Koopa. It's kind of funny. Yeah, that's about it for this. It's kind of dumb, but it is a setup troll for the later part of this. So what happens here is, well, first of all, the player is supposed to realize, okay, well, there's a shell here, and I can just put on this shell to go over to here so that I don't have to do any of this. And when they put it on, it frees up an entity for this spring to spawn. So that's the first part of that troll. It's very... I love that troll, honestly. That's one of my favorites that I've made. Very stupid, but totally fair and, like, you know, very... like, yeah. They feel dumb when they hit it, so it's good. It's good payoff. So the second part is that, well, okay, so I'll just believe you and throw this shell down this pit. And when that happens, you know what? Let me see what I got here. Yeah, so, okay. The first thing that happens when the switches hit is that this POW will basically get destroyed by this block, switch block, and free up an entity for this spring to spawn. So if you were thinking you could throw this down here and come up here quickly to get the checkpoint, you're wrong. So the spring spawns, and basically this will open up as well, the door reveal, and then the right here, the thwomp will hit the seesaw and then fling this shell up after a certain period of time, I believe. Let me see what I got here. Well, okay, so first of all, you can see that this shell that spawns here will come down here and position itself right here. So the shell that carries you through this section is the same shell that shot out of this cannon. And the shell will appear right here first. Let's see if we can actually do anything here. Yeah, that kind of works. Well, I didn't want to do that, but anyway, the shell goes through here and will sit right here until the player is ready to throw the shell down here. And once that happens, obviously you can see this is a conveyor belt. It will trigger the thwomp to come over here and hit this note block, which will activate the seesaw. Yeah, and I think this one is actually a much different setup than I used on my final version, because I think the thwomp was over here on this side, and different things were happening. But yeah, you can kind of see how it works. This is more of an immediate setup, so if you remember in my level, the shell that came up here took a lot longer. Well, I can't really explain this, because this setup here is a very fast seesaw activation, but in my final version, it was not as fast as this. So there's definitely something different here. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it, actually. Oh, by the way, these launchers right here have to be on these conveyors, so you can kind of see how they get closer to each other for a second there. Mario can't come down here. So, interestingly enough, the shell can still fit down here, but Mario can't. So, when the shell comes down here, the reason that these launchers are like this is because if this were just normal ground, the shell has a bigger hitbox, or a smaller hitbox, so it can travel. Like there's a small pixel difference when it's traveling between one entire block like this, than when it's squished, than when these launchers are squished together. So it's a more precise shell. You know what? Maybe I could show that actually. Let me see. So if I were to do this, let me see if that will be different. Let's see over here. All right. And there's all my one-ways. Where the heck is that door? Shell ride. There it is. I hope this is the right state. Okay, perfect. Alright, well that one worked out okay. It's possible that this shell right here was exactly in the spot that it would be with this conveyor. I'm not really going to honestly show you much more of this, but yeah, trust me, this is how it works. Yeah, I think that's about it for this room. And then you obviously go through the door, get the checkpoint, and go down the pipe. So here is an interesting room. So the switch for the end of the level happens right here. And these are silly little trolls. Right here we have a contraption to keep the fire flower up there a little longer than if it were to just come out. Just to give the player a little bit more time to think, to make it more fair. If that makes sense. So without this, it would just be too fast, and it wouldn't be as fair. That's the only reason this is here. just a little bit slower, not a whole lot, but a little bit slower. Yeah. Okay, so this room was designed so that people would die because the level is set up so that if you get to the end and CP1 yourself, you will ideally want to one-shot this room to get to the twice door. And this room is set up so that these trolls are very like light on spaghetti, so that the player will like easily be able to avoid these trolls next time they come into these rooms. So these trolls are very specific because they kind of just need to be, right? So this one, you're only going to fall for this one once. You can't possibly spaghetti this one unless you were like ultra shiny greedy or something. I don't know, but they were also designed so that the player would like fall for them on their first time, because we don't want the player to like dodge both of these trolls on their first attempt at CP2, because then they would get to the twice end door and ruin the entire ending. So these trolls are definitely designed to get you on your first try through, but designed to be very easy to get through on the subsequent attempts. So yeah, hope that makes sense. The whole reason that you can go behind these platforms is this setup right here. So when you're climbing a vine and you get grabbed by a claw, for some reason you just kind of go behind these platforms. Let me show that. So right here, you can kind of see how right now Mario is in front of it, but for some reason, if you do it this way, he'll go behind it. So that's why this is here. Very strange. So this is a little complicated. Right up here we have a setup to detect whether the player has been to CP1 already or not, or CP2, my bad. So if the player is coming into here for the first time at CP1, this guy will spawn from this previous room that they were in. So this is the room before you get to CP2, and what happens is this guy will spawn and go all the way over here to melt this coin in this room, and this is why we need to kill the player, so that they won't be able to get through here the first time. So we made these trolls very specific. I already said that. And what happens is, if this is melted, then this guy will spawn and prevent this fireball from coming down here. Fireball's purpose is to melt these coin blocks right here. So the Podobo will, if this coin is not melted, this guy will not spawn, and the Podobo will come down and melt these guys. And that will take you to a completely different door. Which would be this one right here. So, yeah. I'm trying to think about how I want to explain this. But, yeah. This is complicated. A little bit complicated to explain for, like, especially if you're not familiar with trolls. So, first thing that happens when you go up here, right, if you recall from a video that Carl has played, Mario will come up here, go behind these platforms, and suddenly appear down here. And the reason that happens is just because of this broken track. So the whole thing will push Mario over to as far as wherever this takes him. So depending on the state of these coin blocks right here, Mario will either go to this position or to this position. And funny enough, Mario will still go in this door even right after you're teleported. So that's kind of interesting. So what makes the teleport happen? That's just a scroll stop. So as soon as the switch is hit by this thwomp, once you get up to a certain height here, the screen will scroll, which will scroll in this broken track contraption and make Mario go that way. So let me actually show it to you without the platforms there. And kind of show you how this works. So you can actually hear that Podobo spawn. And here we go. So, yep, you can see how Mario still will go through that door even though he's not standing on anything. So that's the door that will take you to the normal room with the twice, or with the anti-soft lock over here. The twice room is over here. And you can see Clover and Clover. So, yeah. That's kind of how it works. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Obviously, we have a hidden block detector here to hit the switch as soon as they activate these hidden blocks here. It's just a silly little troll here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have questions, feel free to shoot a comment. But yeah, that is pretty much everything here. Yeah, let's keep going. All right. Yeah, so over here we have more stuff. So this, I think this setup, yeah, look at this. This setup is really cool. It's a vertical positional detector. So what happens is, if Mario goes a certain distance down, that will activate because of physics, of course. Yeah. I don't really know why that works, but it just does. It's just a vertical positional detector. It's kind of neat. So the whole troll here is to kind of make them see. So like, no matter which path they choose, if they go over here first, they're gonna want to like be curious about this pipe down here because it's so like alluring and long, right? So the reason it's this long is so that it's visible and it'll catch the eye of the player. So on the next attempt, they'll just kind of go down here and say, hey, what's this? Oh, it's an anti-soft lock. So yeah, there's nothing to explain in this room except that this is the contraption to break the spike ball when it gets close enough over here. And it's just a very slow one-up that will get down here just in time for the spike ball. At least I think. There it comes. Okay, so the reason that it's not, yeah, it's because I'm spawning. So normally, when you spawn in from the editor, it'll always go left, but when you spawn in from the pipe, it'll come towards Mario. So this spike ball will normally just be hanging out right here, waiting for the POW to spawn. So that's really all there is. And then I just kind of reused this screen for the bottom part. What's this? Honestly, interesting. I don't even know what that is. Huh. Maybe it's an old version thing. I have no idea what this is, to be honest. But anyways, it must be for this room somehow. I'm not sure why I would need like a spawn-blocked spike ball. Especially for this room, I have no idea. Well, anyways. So yeah. They get all super excited about this pipe. They really want to check it out. What's really stupid about this troll right here is that you can clearly see that there's a thwomp in 2 blocks. And I think this might have been Shake Kitty's idea. I can't remember. But Yeah, so it's really stupid how you can just kind of see the thwomp sitting there, but still nobody will expect there to be, like, fish that come and, like, kill you. So it's kind of a silly little psychological troll that nobody noticed ever, so it's kind of funny. This is obviously right here. This setup here is just to kill the wiggler on top once you pass this part of the screen. So yeah, just kind of a dumb little troll. You were supposed to spin on the thwomp and not jump on the wiggler, kind of thing. So kind of silly. That one's Shade Kitty's for sure. And by the way, Shade Kitty did work on this ending a little bit with me, so yeah. And this troll is really stupid. In the later version, I had this stuff deleted because it was nicer, I guess. This is really stupid troll because, like, why do I have a 1 up there? Yeah, so that's what happens. If you don't do anything, you'll just get yeeted into that box. It's kind of funny. Oh, that's why it was there. Yeah, so I deleted this and ended up like, this setup is so janky and stupid, and I kind of don't like it. But yeah. So this room is very silly. There's a setup you can do to make it like above the screen like this, and it's kind of a process. I won't explain it here, but I think it's on my YouTube channel actually. Like maybe the video right before this one has it, something like that. Yeah, but just a very stupid troll. I couldn't figure out what to do with this text, so this is what I came up with. Very, very dumb. But yeah, you're supposed to run off here, and this is a cool section. I really enjoyed making this one. What the heck is going on here? You were supposed to be like that, and you were supposed to be like that. I'm not sure why it was any different. But yeah. So, oh, this one I have a, interesting. This one I have a cannon on instead of a chain chomp stump. So, oh my god, this one might take a while to explain as well. So, what's going on here with these munchers is that, you'll notice that this bomb only, or this pipe will, in the videos, will only spawn one bomb at a time. And, shoot, where should I put this? I don't want to undo anything because I'm afraid it's going to break stuff. Down here we just have more, entity spawners. So, yep, just more fish down here to spawn to overload the states. Okay, so let me just start by explaining the bomb. So the reason the only one bomb comes out is because you'll notice first of all that no bombs will come out at all if you're like up here. Normally, anyways. Let me start from the beginning of the room here. Okay, so just run off. Okay, so what the hell? It's on the wrong state, I think. Yep. Alright. Let me just do this real quick. Okay, gonna run off here. And now we're gonna go check out this pipe. I hope this works and it's not like broken. Damn it, it's broken. Well, shit. Normally when you come up here and check out this pipe, nothing is spawning. And nothing will ever spawn until you reach this block right here. And when that happens, suddenly a bomb will come out of the pipe. And the reason that is happening is because these munchers are despawning. And I don't remember why I need so many munchers, but I do, and also check this out. This block right here to push you up is being caught down here in order to save entities, so that it will stay on the screen and not and stay part of the global entity limit. So that's kind of cool. In fact, all items on tracks in this entire area will just sort of stay on tracks. So it's kind of neat. What else? So yeah, when you get to here, these guys will despawn and create enough entities to release the limit on the entities, right? So when the bomb comes out, and Mario jumps up here, then you are scrolling back, and now these guys will spawn. So yeah, let me try to explain this one more time. So Mario will come up here. He'll be right here. No bombs are coming out yet. He falls down here. A bomb comes out. That's because these guys are getting despawned. Now, when Mario jumps back over here, this will scroll the screen in to spawn these guys and re-overload the limit. So the limit is released when these are despawned, and the limit is reinstated when these guys spawn. And when Mario moves back over here, no more bombs will come out of the pipe because these guys have spawned in and created another entity limit. So that's how that works. And the reason that they're not spawned in yet because they need to spawn in later when Mario has come back. So they're behind all these fire coins, and this thing will melt all the coins. So yeah, kind of complicated, but really cool at the same time. I really enjoyed making this setup. It's very fun. And then this is just to clearly, yeah, so this will only trigger once you get to like right here. See how it kind of, so yeah, if you go over here and check, obviously that cannon will do absolutely nothing yet, but then yeah, as soon as you do that, you'll just end up there. It's kind of funny. Funny little troll. Right, so one of the other things is, if you notice, a wiggler will come right here on the second time you get here. So what happens when you're scrolling the screen here and you come back and then you go down again, that's because you're scrolling in this setup. So you're scrolling in this fire bar, or this Podobo on the track, which will melt this coin. And then when you go back here and then come back here again, that's when the wiggler will spawn, and then this whole setup will work properly. The reason that it doesn't sometimes work is because this thing hasn't finished despawning yet at the very beginning of the level. So if the player is too fast coming back here, the wiggler won't spawn. And that's because, yeah, the cloud hasn't finished despawning yet at the beginning, which is where it travels on a broken track. So yeah, that is how that works. Kind of cool. Alright, so this is obviously not the final version of the level, but here we are. Okay, so this is Shade Kitty's ending. He put together this kind of, well, okay, so first it started out as a normal scrolling level, and it ended up being a manual scroll because of certain setups I had to use in this level. So I had to change this thoroughly from the initial version that he was setting up. But this is what I came up with when I was changing it. And these are mostly all Shade Kitty's trolls. I had to change this. This used to be a thwomp, because when you scrolled it down normally without the manual scroll, you would just kind of come into a thwomp here. But with the manual scroll, it doesn't scroll down fast enough for you to see this muncher that's in the way. So what I ended up doing was making this super speed setup here that just shoots the muncher up into view when you die, so that the player can see that they're supposed to hold right over here. So that's what this is. That's the whole reason for this setup right here. And what's kind of cool about this is that it only works when you do it the proper way, or when you do the proper events in order. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's really cool, actually. This is obviously different. This is not how it used to be either. Yeah. And you have that stupid troll. That's obviously just the thwomp here. It's very similar to the fish setup as well. So that's kind of neat. So yeah. Right, so this is the twice door, and when you get up here, you'll not even know that it's a different room at all. Because, see, this exact same setup is here as well. Yeah, and I mean, even this mole is here to destroy this POW, which will destroy the Wiggler exactly the same as the other room as well. Then this just obviously squishes the bomb, so it can easily be destroyed. And then yeah, this bomb needs to be in this claw because the POWs go off, and otherwise, yeah, you can't explode the bomb. You can't have the bomb on ground because it'll die to the POW, basically. So, yep, I think that's about everything, honestly. I mean, this is just typical, like, hide a spring behind launcher tech. You know, just kind of push it down. And then this is obviously has a block behind it where a bomb right here will come and explode it. And yep, see, this is exactly the same room. So once you come in from CP1 and one-shot all the way to this ending here, you will have gone through this room where this guy melts this coin and this bomb explodes this block right here. And yeah, once you come over here, this launcher will be spawned in and you'll have to go back to CP1. So it is beatable both ways. I know some people sort of showed that. I know Carl did. He beat it both ways, which was kind of cool. But yeah, it's beatable multiple ways. And I mean, honestly, I think that's pretty much everything. I think I've explained everything. There's nothing really... There's nothing else really. My voice is getting hoarse as shit. So I might have to cut this one off here pretty soon. But yeah, that is pretty much everything. Let me see what do we got in the subworld one more time. Yeah, I think I got everything. We got all my NGT limit one ways over here. Oh, and this track is interesting. I think this is for the reason I have it walled off like this is because it's a very special track. If you delete this, I think the entire level might be corrupted or something, but I don't want to do that. In fact, I'm going to leave right now, so yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. That was Endless Soup Part 2. No plans for another level. I just opened up Mario Maker again for the first time in, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. Maybe I'll start making again here shortly, because I'm out of work again, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.